Viewers, have the Congress and the AAP already given up? That's the question that is doing the rounds today. Because these two parties, viewers, spent all day building a case based on conjecture, speculation, innuendo, and very little absolute proof to call into question the mandate of the people. It appeared as if these parties are looking for pretexts to explain away any impending defeat. You must all be very familiar with the phrase, only bad workmen blame their tools. And the whining that the Congress and the AAP appear to have resorted to might just be that, a desperate dilatory exercise in finding something or someone to blame for a putative reversal, viewers, in less than 10 hours. Even the tactics are by now all too familiar. Attack the Election Commission, question the poll body's neutrality, suggest that it is complicit in manipulating the vote, and for good measure, accuse it of not doing anything to stop the BJP from subverting the mandate by indulging in allegedly horse trading and the like. Arvind Kejriwal is the first off the block. He not only attacked the Election Commission, but also the BJP, accusing it of trying to bribe its MLAs. Strangely, or should one say curiously, each AAP leader that spoke to the media had a different version to tell of the BJP's alleged bribery bid. And let me put it out for you viewers right there. Arvind Kejriwal, and it'll come on your screens. Arvind Kejriwal said that the BJP offered bribes to 16 AAP MLAs. Okay. Durgesh Pathak said, no, it's 20. 20 MLAs. Sanjay Singh first said 7, then revised it upwards to 10. And Gopal Rai said, many got a call. Too many to count. How is it that the party couldn't decide upon one single number while making such a serious and loaded charge? Either BJP called all their MLAs, or they called 16, or they called 7, or they called 20. Can't have just called everyone, viewers. How is everyone so confused? You can only be confused when, viewers, you're guessing. Guessing games confuse people, not the facts. The fact is only one. Moments after all these accusations were made, the Anti-Corruption Bureau was pressed in to investigate on the LG's orders. And let me break this down for you. The ACB then shot off a notice to Kejriwal, which they said they handed to him and other AAP leaders in person. So the AAP's charges, 16 candidates received calls to join BJP, offered minister posts and 15 crore each. The LG says, okay, let's order a probe, let's get the ACB into it. The ACB sends a notice to Kejriwal asking it to furnish evidence, including phone numbers and names of the candidates. 5 questions were asked, viewers. Have you got a response? Not till I last checked. And admittedly, viewers, I prepare for this show, so I haven't been checking for the last 35-40 minutes. As has been mentioned, Kejriwal had also accused the Election Commission of not revealing official turnout figures by not handing the copies of Form 17C. This is something that the Congress party has been doing also in the past. This is a big charge, because if the candidates don't know how many people voted, there is no way for them to determine if the result is fair, what is the majority mark, and so on and so forth. Naturally, the Election Commission, a bit shocked and very keen to put the facts out there, hit back dismissing Kejriwal's accusation. So Kejriwal said, EC has refused to upload Form 17 and number of votes polled per booth despite request. EC should have done this in the interest of transparency. EC says presiding officers. Now viewers, these are two completely divergent responses. Presiding officers furnished account of votes recorded in Form 17C to every polling agent present at booths on polling day. Now viewers, the AAP says it hasn't got it. Has the Congress come out and said, no, we haven't got it? Have the MIM come out and said? Has Samajwadi Party come out and said? Have the other political parties that have contested the elections come out and said, no, we haven't got Form 17? No, viewers, they haven't. No one else has come out. Only the AAP has come out. So the EC has been forced to put out a clarification. Has the AAP responded? Not till I last checked, viewers. And admittedly, I prepared for this show, so I'm going to say it again. It was about 40 minutes back that I checked. Hardly had Kejriwal finished that India bloc lead face, Rahul Gandhi got into the act. Gandhi was even more alarmist, virtually implying that the EC had stolen the Maharashtra election. Listen in, viewers.
In 5 years, between Vidhan Sabha 2019 and Lok Sabha 2024, 32 lakh voters were added on the electoral rolls of Maharashtra. However, in a period of 5 months between Lok Sabha 2024, which these parties won, and Vidhan Sabha 2024, 39 lakh new voters were added in Maharashtra. Now the question is, why are more voters being added in 5 months after the Lok Sabha election than are being added in 5 years prior? Who are these 39 lakh people? To give an idea of what happened here, that is the equivalent of an Indian state. The state of Himachal Pradesh has an equivalent number of voters. That the population, voting population of Himachal Pradesh was added to the voting list of Maharashtra after Lok Sabha elections. Second point, very interesting point. Why were there more registered voters in Maharashtra than the entire voting population of Maharashtra? According to the government, the population of Maharashtra is 9.54 crores. According to the Election Commission, there are more voters in Maharashtra than there are people in Maharashtra. Now this is an obvious anomaly, right? Somehow voters have suddenly been created.
Viewers, Rahul Gandhi's accusations, however, have been earlier addressed by the Election Commission, but his refusal to let go seems to suggest that he is setting the stage to duck behind an excuse ahead of what will be another massive drubbing. If you go by what the exit polls are saying, is that really what is happening? This time in the Union capital. In any case, the EC has announced that it will formulate a detailed response once again. But let me just take you through some hard facts, viewers. More than 1.2 crore voters were added since 2019, as against 48.8 lakh between LS and Maharashtra Assembly polls last year. So viewers, apropos Rahul Gandhi's complaint regarding non-availability of voter lists for Maharashtra during the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections of 2024, data shows that free copies of draft and final electoral rolls of the state were provided to the Congress on at least 12 occasions between 2019 and 2024. Did the Congress ever come out and say, no, there is something wrong here? Viewers, and Rahul Gandhi has bizarrely also put out 3 numbers in less than a week. On January 30, he said 1 crore new voters were added by the Election Commission after the Lok Sabha election and before the Vidhan Sabha election. So in a period of about 5 months. On February 3rd, he reduces that by 30 lakhs. He says, no, 70 lakhs. Sorry, wasn't 1 crore, but 70 lakhs. Then on February 7th, 4 days later, he now says it's only 39 lakhs that have been added. Viewers, in Maharashtra, the Congress has not been re-elected, not once, not twice, but 3 times at the very least, viewers, from 2014. Were all election commissioners corrupt? Were they all fiddling and meddling with the electoral rolls? How far does he want to go? 10 years is a long time. 3 elections is a very long time, viewers, for something like this not to come out. Let's open this up. Let's ask some fundamental questions tonight, because these questions must be asked. And I want to begin first with Kamru Chaudhary and Anish Gawande, who represent the India bloc from Maharashtra. Kamru Chaudhary, you don't, of course, but Mr. Gawande does. I haven't confused East with West. But Mr. Chaudhary, I need to ask you this, sir. Which is the right number? Rahul Gandhi said on January 30th, 1 crore. Please check it. I'm not lying. Please check. I do my homework. Then on February 3rd, he says 70 lakhs. Then on February 7th, he says 39 lakhs. No one else has talked about this. And let me tell you, these additions, Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, these additions, and you will be shocked to know that as per the data available from the seats where electors increased from the Maharashtra Lok Sabha to Vidhan Sabha, the opposition won 87 of those seats. In fact, it won almost all those seats. As you know,
Okay,
1 second, sir, I'm just pointing out the hard facts. I beg your indulgence because my namesake has confused the country. So at least let me bring it back to an even keel. You can then shred me. But at least listen to the hard facts, sir. Across seats where voters were added, NCP, SP, Congress, UBT, CPIM, AIM were the main beneficiaries. Here's another fact check. In Bid, where NCP Sharad Pawar won 19,312 new voters were added, and NCP won 5,324 votes. That means it won almost 28% of the vote there, of the new voters. How can you say everyone is voting for the BJP? Do the math, sir. In Nagpur North, 23,421 new voters were added and Congress won with 28,467 votes. In fact, more. All those voters that were added voted for the Congress. What are we talking about? What are you doing? Are you so shaky today? Is Rahul Gandhi so bothered about covering his face under any fig leaf that he's now inventing a fact?
Rahul, can I start now, please?
Please, sir. Don't
Okay,
stop.
now let's get to the basics out here. Why all sorts of questions of this type are coming out? And as you say, Rahul Gandhi is confusing the country. I've got a set of 2-3 questions to ask before the country. The first is, there is a perception that the Election Commission of India led by Rajiv Kumar is compromised as of now. Basically not because of his person as an officer of that grade, as a constitutional authority, but simply because Narendra Modi ji gave the appointment to him through an ordinance after the Supreme Court verdict. So let us wait till the 12th of February when the Honorable Supreme Court hears his appointment and justifies it. That time the debate may end at that point. There are forms, everybody is discussing about Form 17, this and that. I've got 3 questions. When you enroll a voter, you get a Form 6 for absolutely new voters. You have got Form 8, where a voter transfers himself from one place to the other. And this transfer, as per the Election Commission, happens till the time the nominations are filed, and it takes 10 days to file the voter list to be updated on that day. So now my question is that 39 lakh voters that have been added up before the elections, how many were enrolled under Form 6 and how many were enrolled under Form 8? A lot of my doubts and my countrymen's doubt will be cleared on that.
Okay.
Secondly, already 9 to 10 months have gone by after the parliamentary elections have ended. Why is the Election Commission of India taking so much time to upload the Form 20B, the result sheet? Why is it still not available on the website? As of now, the voter turnout on the Delhi elections is an 1140. The total 60.42% is there. Will they sustain? Will they add up with the Form 17B? Yes or no? The Election Commission has to declare that. Till that time, my fellow countrymen, me and lot of people in this country will always raise questions on the Election Commission of India.
The perception is,
basic question.
The perception is, no, 1 second. There are enough people who think that Rahul Gandhi is a very simple individual. They use a particular word for him. I don't want to go there. Should I accept that as the perception, sir, and begin to question Rahul Gandhi and say, please take an aptitude test first? clear the mark
no,
so that
Rahul,
people
why
don't
are you
perceive you to be...
apologetic?
No, one second.
We call
No, this is
Rajiv
very
Kumar
important.
a
No, one second.
tota.
One second. Just
We
one second.
call Rajiv Kumar a tota.
One
we
second.
call Election
One
Commission
second.
an extended
One
department
second.
of
One
the
second.
BJP.
One second.
That's
One
a
second.
contempt of a constitutional authority.
1 second, sir.
But why
1
does
second.
the constitutional authority
Kamru Chaudhary,
need to be
please.
called by us?
Kamru Chaudhary,
we had
please.
TN session before
Kamru
that.
Chaudhary,
Rahul,
please.
You are in contempt of calling names to my leader. And it's not a
Kamru
hidden
Chaudhary,
fact of
please.
what he
Kamru
called it.
Chaudhary, please. Calm down.
Please
Relax.
try
Take
to have
a chill
civilized
pill.
debate. I've raised a set of questions.
Was this election
Please try to
commissioner...
answer
No,
those.
you said that he was appointed by an ordinance. When was he appointed, sir?
When the election commission appointment was struck down by the Supreme Court,
When?
next day Amit Shah...
When?
Please check out your Google.
You tell me. When was he appointed?
Get into deep seek.
Viewers,
Do I
I'll
need
tell
to
you.
get into deep
I'll
seek
tell
for
you.
you?
I'll tell
An
you when,
elementary
viewers.
question.
This gentleman was appointed even before the Lok Sabha elections. Is this a fact? Yes, it is. Undeniable fact. Gawande is also nodding his head in agreement with me. He knows. And this same election commissioner who was picked out of thin air, says Kamru Chaudhary, appointed through an ordinance, delivers the biggest shock to Modi in the general elections, leaves him short of a majority.
Come on, don't generalize everything out here.
Generalize?
There are malpractices.
You said
Yes, of
that
course.
he has been appointed through a route which makes him pliable. You said it, I didn't say it. You insinuated
do you
that.
oppose the
One
Shah
second,
Banu
one
judgment?
second, one
Shah
second,
Banu-
one second.
Shah-
Kamru
Shah
Chaudhary,
Banu
please.
ordinance?
Have some sense.
Do you
Have
oppose?
some
Why
sense,
don't
please.
you
One
oppose the
second, just
ECI
one second,
ordinance?
just one second, just one second. So please, you know, there has to be a limit to this. There has to be a limit to this. No dictator, viewers, no person who wants to rig and fix an election, let me tell you, nobody will say that when the real battle is taking place, I must lose. Smita Prakash, I mean, isn't this outlandish that the person who's supposed to be, and I don't want to use those words that Mr. Kamru has used of the election commission, would he, after having been appointed by Modi by bending so-called all the laws, because he is supposed to be some sort of a rubber stamp, then say to Mr. Modi, thank you, but no thank you. Here it is, the biggest poll of your life, the Lok Sabha election that may not give you a majority. Thank you for doing business with me. Thank you for giving me this post. But I'm sorry, buddy, here you get off. I mean, come on, Smita Prakash. What sense is this?
He would have held the election in February or March, right? Just after the Ram Temple construction. He wouldn't have continued with the, he wouldn't have had a schedule which was like stretching over a period of 1.5 months in the heat of summer. These are things which went against the BJP. But anyway, besides the point, I'm talking about now this press conference that you're showing. Rahul Gandhi holds a press conference talking about the Maharashtra election barely 12 hours or whatever just before results are coming out of the Delhi election. And the spokesperson for the Congress on your show goes further back to May 2024. I mean, it's so typical of the Congress that instead of focusing on the now and present, they want to hark back for 6 months and then 10 months back. You know, second term exam चल रहा है और आप first term की बात कर रहे हैं और unit test की paper leak के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. It's really like that. You know, I don't want to make it sound silly, but it's really like that. It was so out of syllabus, as they say. And Supriya Sule talking about paper ballot today, sitting right next to him. I mean, again talking about the Maharashtra election and about rigging and all. Even in the opposition, Owaisi and Omar Abdullah themselves have said that they don't stand with the Congress on this matter. कि जब आप जीतते हैं, Telangana they won. उस time तो there was no problem with it. You won in Maharashtra in so many places. There was no problem with it. But only later that you decide that, oh, okay, this doesn't suit me. I mean, it doesn't matter. And look at what Akhilesh Yadav had to say today. He actually said that the EC is dead and it should be put in a coffin, they said. And he said that if I'm in the parliament, otherwise I would have worn white and in mourning. Look at the kind of language on the day before the results are coming out and something that you celebrate about an election which has been held. You turn around and you make these kind of comments and you use comments. You make anything
I'm
that
not
you
even
make
going into
television
rhetoric,
use. तो कुछ
Smita
भी बोल दो.
Prakash. Exactly. I'm not even going into rhetoric. I'm going into facts. Mr. Gawande, let me come out to you. You're a sensible young man representing the future of Indian democracy. You're going to grow into a very, very effective politician in a few years. And I want to ask you, Rahul Gandhi says 39 voters were added between the Lok Sabha and the Vidhan Sabha
39
election.
lakhs.
Right, 39 lakhs. That's what he's saying. Okay. Now, let me tell you, viewers, he says that 39 is greater than the 32 lakhs that were added between the 5 years of 2019 Lok Sabha and 2024 Lok Sabha. Has he not read the numbers that have been put out by the Election Commission? The Election Commission said that almost 1.5 crore, which is much more, 4 times more, over 5 years were added than in this 6-month period. And I want to ask you, Mr. Gawande, you represent the youth of this country. Should the youth not be given an opportunity to vote? Or should they be told, no, hang on, now you wait for another 5 years? Rahul Gandhi, suspects your loyalties. He thinks that you're going to go the other way. So you chill. We'll come back to you after 5 years. Shouldn't the effort be, since Rahul Gandhi believes so much in democracy, to make it more inclusive? And at every possible moment, enable more people to vote so that they can be equal stakeholders? I'm asking you, Mr. Gawande. Put your hand on your heart and tell me I'm wrong.
Rahul, firstly, thank you so much for having me on your show again and for your very kind words. I want to start off by saying that the concerns that have been raised have been primarily around the insertion and deletion of voters from voter list, right? I think we forget the deletion of voter list part when we speak about the insertion of voter lists as well, right? So a question has been asked as to why voter lists are not being provided to political parties. And this is a legitimate question. And I think the Election Commission should give.
But the Election Commission, sir, has responded on that point. The Election Commission has said that on at least 12 occasions, that on 12 occasions we have given the Congress the electoral rolls.
But the problem with this,
what is
the problem with this, Rahul, is that we still do not have a breakup of the insertion and deletion of voters.
My dear friend, it is all on the, it has been provided, it has been provided, it's on the website. Hang on, just a minute. The Election Commission has come out and said, no, listen to this, viewers. Data shows that free copies of draft and final electoral rolls,
Given to the polling agent.
draft and, of the state were provided to the Congress on at least 12 occasions between 2019 and 2024. Mr. Gawande, I want to ask you, I quoted to you an example of an electoral constituency, Bede. In Bede, your man won.
Yes.
Your candidate won. And it had a number of new voters, 19,000. That's a big number in the context of an assembly election, in an assembly constituency.
But Rahul, this has never been about an individual constituency, but it's rather been about the process, right?
It's about the process.
Let me reiterate.
So the process breaks down. No, hang on. The process breaks down outside Bede and it breaks down outside Nagpur North.
No, in fact,
wherever you lose, it breaks down. Wherever you win, it's okay.
Let me give you something. Let me give you something that will allay your fears, because let me point out 2 things said by Supriyata in the press conference, right? The first was that she's won an election 5 times through an EVM, and so she herself does not think EVM should be doubted, and that EVMs need to be reconsidered given the amount of public sort of unease around them.
Yes.
The second thing is that we also had raised concerns around
Okay,
the
listen. Now we're
symbol being allotted
listen. Hang on.
to a
Then
certain
explain to me
political
why
party
did
and to
Modi end
independence.
up? Why
Rahul,
did Modi end up
the
short
whole
of a
point
majority?
is,
Why did he end up? Why did he
had-
end up? No, hang on. You can't say that the election
Because,
commissioner
Rahul, the
suddenly
question is about the
changes and
process.
undergoes some sort of
No,
a
the question is
transplant.
about the process.
No, please.
No, in
Mr.
fact,
Gawande,
I'm
let's not
saying
stretch a point.
none of that.
Let's
I'm
not
saying
stretch
I
a
have
point.
great
I want
faith
to
in
ask
the
you a
election
question.
commissioner.
I want to
No, I
ask
have
you a
great faith in
question.
the election commissioner.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. The Congress party believes that the AAP will lose the Delhi election. On what basis is it making this claim? Because it says that the people of this country don't like the AAP anymore, and that's why I want to bring in Mr. Srivastava. Tomorrow is the AAP going to say, nay, you see, Form 17C was not uploaded, and therefore we don't know how many people, and the BJP national spokesperson is here amongst us. So I want you and him now to battle this out. I put some facts out. Kejriwal comes out and says that,
No,
look,
so my only question to him
yes, sir. You go ahead.
is, for so long, you've been telling all those who protest against your government saying kagas nahi dikhayenge, that they're wrong. But then today, why is the EC afraid of showing kagas? Why is the EC afraid of putting
The
Form
EC has
17Cs?
put out, my
These
dear
are
man,
procedural questions.
Mr.
And I don't
Gawande,
think
please.
I
The EC
have
has
no
put out all
doubts
the
around
details.
Okay,
EC's
so
credibility.
BJP spokesperson responding to you. Fine, let him respond.
Where are the 17 Cs online?
Okay.
Yes, senior anchor,
you know, the Election Commission has put forth all the details. I think, you know, the Sharad Pawar ji spokesperson is not carrying Twitter on his phone, or he's not carrying X on the phone, because all the information has been put forth in the last couple of hours. Now, if it takes an extra day in the interest of authenticity, if an extra day is taken, why should they raise the alarm bell? Point is, every time these opposition leaders are pushed against the wall, every time they sense defeat, they come up with illogical falsehood. Now, if Rahul Gandhi cannot make up his mind whether 1 lakh new voters have been added, whether 70 lakh have been added, or whether 39 lakh have been added, how does he expect, you know, to be taken seriously? Now, I am told, correct me if I am wrong, you know, Rahul, senior anchor, correct me if I am wrong, that on the eve of Karnataka elections, assembly elections, again 16 lakh new voters were added. Now, if you compare the size of Karnataka with Maharashtra, if indeed 16 lakh new voters have been added, what is the big deal if extra voters have been added in Maharashtra? They could be new voters, they could be those who have migrated to Maharashtra. But and you know, also look at the one key difference over here. You know, look at how opposition parties have shifted the goalpost from EVM. They realize that they can't, you know, they can't churn out, they can't milk the EVM thing anymore. You know, their logic has been defeated. So now it's around voter lists. Now it's around Form 17C. Now it's the paraphernalia which has become more important. But the bottom line remains same. They tend to be very poor losers.
To Sinha, the second charge was that this gentleman, the EC, is the worst. He should be put in a coffin, and that he was appointed irregularly. And therefore, he is hypothecated to the BJP government. Would you like to respond to that?
These are baseless charges. You know, in Jharkhand, we lost miserably. Now, if he was subservient to us, would we, you know, and I can tell you the stakes were huge in Jharkhand. Would we have tolerated such a loss in Jharkhand? Like you mentioned, we got 240 seats, way below our expectations in the Lok Sabha elections. Would we have tolerated, have we, you know, planted him? Now, these are the people in whose time we have seen how, you know, an ex-chief election commissioner would retire and then fight elections on a... We know the exploits of, Naveen Chawla ji, and yet they have the temerity to go on and not introspect on their own performance. It's a fact that Rahul Gandhi, you know, tomorrow if Rahul Gandhi blames the EVM for the Delhi result, it's a fact that Congress only became active in the last 6 or 7 days in Delhi.
So let me bring in Mr. Srivastava. Mr. Srivastava, let me bring you in. This is important. There are two charges that the AAP is making today. Suddenly they have decided to say that, look, we have been approached. None of them, however, know how many have been approached. You ask Kejriwal, he gives one number. You ask Mr. Durgesh Pathak, he gives one number. You ask Sanjay Singh, he gives an entirely different number. What is this? Banana party or what? What is going on?
No, Rahul.
I mean, you are making a serious charge. And Rahul Gandhi can't decide how many new voters. 1 crore, he says, in January 30th. 70 lakhs, he says, on Feb 3. 39 lakhs, he says, on Feb 7th. Kejriwal is no better. 16 MLAs got calls. Someone else, Mohinder Goyal says 7 MLAs. Durgesh Pathak says 20. Gopal Rai says many got. मुझे तो पता ही नहीं, अनगिनत. Awadh Oja says 10 to 15. Sanjay Singh says 16 plus. Bhai, there must be if you're making such a serious charge, there must be one number, right?
Rahul, I just want to respond to your...
No, please respond to this first.
There's
too much to cover.
This also I'll respond, but I want
respond to this first.
Respond to your first question.
Please, you come to that.
If Rajiv Kumar would have not been honest, then why Mr. Modi's government today is on crutches? Probably, if Mr. Rajiv Kumar would have been more strict, today BJP would have not been in the power at all. I can also say that. Here the point is that Kejriwal is fighting a bitter battle with the election commission since the very beginning this election. Now, Pravesh Verma was distributing money, he made complaints, nobody investigated, nobody caught him, nothing happened.
Ravi ji, let me ask you a simple question, sir. Let's go point by point and issue by issue. Okay. First, Mr. Kejriwal has not talked about Maharashtra. Okay, thank goodness. In Maharashtra, of course, Uddhav Thackeray got up one morning and said, no, it was the EVMs that were actually malfunctioning. That's why we lost. Rahul Gandhi, of course, is now latched on to the voters' bit. So just remove Maharashtra from the equation. Let's come to you and the AAP, etc. Just 1 second. So let me ask you a fundamental question. He started out by saying this morning, EC ने तो हमें turnout figures ही नहीं दिए. EC का जवाब आता है, no one has contradicted this, viewers, that as the polling ended, as the procedure is, and I can put it out, this is the EC response to the charge, and it's a graphic, viewers, but I put side by side. The charge on one side by Mr. Kejriwal and the EC's response on the other side. Presiding officers furnished an account of votes recorded in Form 17C, which is the basic, most salient document, to every polling agent present at booths on polling day.
Rahul, as far as the...
No, I'm asking you.
As far as Aam Aadmi Party is
I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you. Procedure is followed. What is this problem?
Let me tell you, as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, they are far ahead in the election technology.
I'll tell you, sir.
As compared to even EC or compared to even any other.
So then how is it that they lost Gujarat? They said that we were winning Gujarat.
Now you are getting hypothetical questions.
They are so great at predicting elections. They are so great at doing their maths. They have such computers. They have AI. Not Kejriwal, but they have AI. They have DeepSeek. But man, when it came to predicting outcomes, they ended up second.
He has published 17C already listed.
The great Kejriwal AI, DeepSeek, guess what it said?
Today,
it said, 1 minute, it said in the Lok Sabha elections, we are winning all 3 seats. Did they win, viewers? No.
Today, Delhi
zero.
Assembly, he has shown that 39 voters have been removed.
Right.
39,000 voters have been removed.
Voters.
He has given the data.
Everyone
that
has been brought in.
1,46,000 to 1,07,000.
Okay. So viewers, now we must allow people to plant all sorts of fictitious voters and let them vote in the election, because that's what everyone wants. Let's give Aadhaar to every...
That's the responsibility of the election commission.
Well, so they have exercised their discretion and they've kicked out people. Those people, by the way, viewers, whoever has been debarred, struck off, can easily go to the courts, can go to any authority and seek the matter out with the court or with the authority. Now, 1 second, let me just bring in Tuhin Sinha. You know, I think that this is, and Kamru Chaudhary, of course, will nod sideways and up and down, but this, viewers, is classic, let's blame the tools. This is classic, and tomorrow I have a feeling now. I mean, I've been skeptical all through the day, all through yesterday and day before. I've been thinking that the exit polls are wrong. But after hearing all of this, I'm beginning to think that maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe my deep seeker is completely gone. So I have to ask you now, Tuhin Sinha. I want to ask you this question. Should the Election Commission not have held, for the purposes of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Kejriwal, a press conference tonight, putting out all the details?
Yes. No. No. Time and again, you know, whether the Election Commission holds a press conference or whether it gives out written information, time and again the Election Commission has responded to every query of the opposition. And in fact, even immediately after Rahul Gandhi's press conference, the Election Commission put out an ex-post saying that we will respond to this in detail very soon. So why should we give the extra importance to whiners? You know, when you talk about Arvind Kejriwal's complaint that 39,000 voters have been removed, can you imagine that in a constituency of 110,000 voters, that means 40% of the voters, almost 40% of the voters, there would be large-scale protest on the streets. People would be filing FIRs. Do you see any such protest? Which obviously means that Arvind Kejriwal is once again lying.
Once again, Smita Prakash, are we being too partisan here? Are we not taking a balanced position? Are we being completely blinkered? Should we say no, the Congress is right, Rahul Gandhi is right, the answers have been given by the EC, but they need to keep reiterating them because some people have the memory of a goldfish? Or should we say no, I'm sorry, scrap the entire election exercise, kick out the EC, let's completely dismantle the system? Are we being completely here partisan? I'm asking you. I'm finding it very bizarre.
Rahul, why do we remember the people like T.N. Sheshan, Gopala Swamy or the Qureshi, all those people? Why do we recall them again and again? They were very honest election commissioners What is
Yeah, yeah,
wrong with
why?
Rajiv Kumar only?
Sheshan
While
fought-
looking for a
Sheshan fought
post-retirement
election, no?
assignment on 28th February
Why?
onwards.
Okay,
This is what
Sheshan did
Kejriwal
great
said
work.
Yes.
1 second.
Smita Prakash. Yeah.
1 second. Sheshan was a great guy, fine. But didn't he fight election on a Congress ticket against Advani?
I am asking his tenure as a election commissioner, which is where he was
Sir,
totally
There was a
firm.
gentleman
And
called
he
Naveen
took it
Chawla.
head
Yeah,
on.
so
Mr.
you
Srivastava.
are
Consultation.
already predicting. You are already
what
predicting
nonsense,
that
Smita ji?
Rajiv Kumar is
Didn't
going to
Gogoi
get
become an
a
MP
post-retirement
after
job,
delivering
I am
whereas
not.
somebody
This is
who
Mr.
already
Kejriwal
got
has
it,
said
which
it,
is
probably
Naveen
is
Chawla
compliant
and
because of
Sheshan, that is not a problem for
This
you.
is what Kejriwal ji said it.
Sir,
I'm
he's
not
compliant.
saying it.
Yes, he's
No,
compliant.
no,
He's
what?
ISO, he's
Probably
ISO
क्या होता है?
compliant. Okay.
There तो it's happened now.
Okay, viewers, look, there is no point going back and forth here. There are some people who are now, see, they've shifted the goalposts very, very cleverly. First it was the courts, then it was the media, then it turned out to be, unfortunately, the EVM. The poor EVM who couldn't respond. So the EVM, the EVM, the EVM, the EVM, the EVM. Then they realized, I don't think this is making much sense to anybody because we are winning elections through those same EVMs. So they have to now come up with something even more outlandish, and they say now hang the EC. And remember, viewers, it's not just one EC who runs that body. There are two others.
Sampos.
Everyone is, okay, signposts. Viewers, just look at the contempt. These are the people who talk about Samvidhan. They are the ones who talk about Samvidhan. I can understand you might have a problem with
Rahul,
the
do we have
process
2
of
minutes?
appointing the EC. At
Do
least
we
that's a
have 2
sensible
minutes? I have
question.
got one more
but,
question.
But no, I'm done, sir. I'm done. I'm done. I just hope that the people will be more forgiving of this. of this. I'm done. I'm moving on because I'm completely done. It's pickling my mind.